Hi, it's another gorgeous day out in Southern California, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about Romans 1:16 through 21. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes, for the Jew first and also for the Greek. For it is in the righteousness of God is revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who suppresses the truth in unrighteousness. Because what may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shown it to them. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so they are not without excuse, or they are without excuse. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. The reason that I wanted to share about that today was that we are without excuse. God reveals himself to everybody. We know right from wrong. We know that even when we're little. You think about a young child who takes a cookie out of a cookie jar and hides it from his parent and knows that it's wrong. We know right from wrong. God puts that in our hearts. He puts the commandments in our hearts. And when we know these things, we can become hardened to them as we get older and we keep rejecting God. We just keep doing things on our own and just assuming that our way is okay, and that relative morality that, whatever's good for me works. But when it comes down to reality, God reveals himself to all of us, and it could be in a lot of different ways. I mean, I'm sitting out here and looking at the birds and the trees and the grass and the beautiful sky and just the glory of the spring flowers. And of course I've read the stories, and I've even shared those on these videos where God is revealing himself to tens of thousands of Muslims around the world through visions and dreams. And he's revealed himself in so many ways. There's got to be a creator to all this creation. When you look on the internet, even if you've never traveled, to see all the different amazing things that God has created with waterfalls and oceans, and I saw a pink lake, and just incredible things that are just beyond imagination. They just didn't pop up one day and just out of some big bang or something. I mean, I hope that people are really thinking about that could there really be a big bang? It just doesn't even make sense. But just to know that none of us are going to be without excuse. I know that even when I was younger, I would say, well, what about the tribes in Africa who never get to see civilization? Well, God says it right there in his word. Even through creation, he makes himself known. And so just don't think that if you're going na 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 na, that you're not hearing it. God is revealing himself to each and every one of us. It's just dependent on whether we harden our heart to it or not. And I did. I hardened my heart for 38 years. And I just am like, wow, the same excuses I hear from non-believers now are the same ones that I said for many years. And I call people like me now Jesus freaks. And I just couldn't understand it. But God, in his sovereignty and his grace and mercy, when he revealed himself to me in a very powerful way, I knew at that moment when I heard the gospel, the full gospel for the first time, that there was no turning back. There was no more searching. There was no more doubting. It was just, I'm in. I'm all in. And 20 years later, I'm all in still. Am I where I want to be with the Lord 100%? No. I don't think any of us obtain that. But I know my faith is stronger than it's ever been, and it's impossible to please God without faith, and He says that in His Word. And so I know that my life is different. Even a year ago is different now than it was then, and the things that He allows us to go through. So I just want to encourage you, if you are thinking that, not listening to Christians, not being all in is going to get you somewhere that you hope is heaven, He says none are without excuse. And there's no way to get to the Father except through the Son. And He says that too. So don't be doing this. Don't be plugging your ears. Don't be ignoring the things that God's saying, because He's making it clear. And we are all responsible. And once you hear the gospel, then you're responsible to make a decision. So I want to encourage you to make that decision, because it will affect you for eternity. And God loves you and wants none to perish. So have a blessed day. And if you don't know Him, go seek Him, and He'll reveal Himself to you. I mean, He is faithful to do that. So that would be my challenge. If any of you that might be watching this don't know Him, seek Him out, and He'll be faithful. All right? So God bless you. Have a great day.